All right, guys, this is a special coaching video to address the chaos and the pandemic that is going on right now, otherwise known as, obviously I cannot say the word here on YouTube. I can't say it, guys, because YouTube will demonetize me and start hammering down on all my other coaching videos that have nothing to do with the virus, right? But you see a number of YouTubers out there getting demonetized just because they're saying the word, right? Just because they're saying the word. So unfortunately, throughout this coaching video, I'm going to have to avoid saying, right? CV. I can't say it. So we'll call it something else, right? We'll call it the Roni, as I've heard other YouTubers call it. All right, so right now we're dealing with the Roni. A lot of you guys are scared. A lot of you guys are panicking. I mean, there is just insanity out there. People are stocking up on toilet paper. Oh my God. I mean, these people look ridiculous. They're out there stocking up on toilet paper, paper towels. For some reason, the shelves are fully stocked with Kleenex, so it's like, why wouldn't you stock up on the Kleenex too? I mean, you can wipe your ass with it. It's just as soft, right? But in tonight's coaching video, I want to talk about how to stay alpha, the secrets to staying alpha during panic and pandemics, while we're all going through this together. And you see a lot of people out there freaking out. Now, why are they freaking out? They're freaking out because they are just glued to the mainstream news, right? They're glued to CNN, MSNBC, all of these news outlets that are telling them like, oh my gosh, another person died. Whoa, oh my goodness, 3 more deaths in the last 2 days, and it's making people freak out, right? And the thing you have to understand is it is the mainstream media's job to freak you out, okay? It is their job to freak you out, okay? And I'm not dismissing the virus in any way, shape, or form, okay? I'm not dismissing the Roni at all. I'm not saying it's not dangerous. I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, it's, all these people are gonna be fine, right? I'll talk about that in a second. But what I am dismissing is the fear mongering, okay? The fear mongering needs to stop. And if you guys want to get accurate information, the only person you should be listening to is Dr. Fauci from the CDC, Center for Disease Control, okay? That is the only person you should be listening to is Dr. Fauci. And clearly, obviously, the president has a lot of advisors in his ear, so he's going to give his opinion on everything as well. Whether you like him or not, we're all in this together, and we're gonna get through this, guys. I'm telling you, okay? I promise you, okay? And I don't like to make promises. I don't. But let me promise you now, we will get through this. Period. Okay? Period. Are we gonna lose some people? Unfortunately, yes. Okay? We are gonna lose some people. Some people are going to die from this, unfortunately. However, most of those people, I would say overwhelmingly, over 90% of those people are going to be beyond the age of 70. And not only that, but they are going to have underlying health issues. Okay, so it's not like you're gonna, take a healthy guy from your gym who's like 70 years old. He's clearly always working out. He's always on the treadmill, always in there pumping weights. And that guy is fit and he eats healthy and he lives a clean lifestyle. That guy probably is not gonna have to worry nearly as much as the 70-year-old peer of his that doesn't do shit, doesn't work out, eats like crap, is in a piss poor relationship where his woman is poison dripping him. He has heart issues, health issues, and here goes Giz. And other medical conditions that are going to make him, or is going to at least make it harder for him to recover from the Roni, right? But for the overwhelming majority of you who are under 70 years old, especially if you maintain a clean lifestyle, you're going to be fine. Okay, I am telling you right now, you're going to be fine. Too many of you guys are out there like watching the news and everything else that will never ever tell you and never report on all the people who are actually recovering from the Roni, right? People are actually recovering from the Roni overwhelmingly. Okay, I think so far over 68,000 people have actually recovered from the virus. Okay, the sky's not falling. You're not gonna die. Okay, you're going to be fine. Now, with that said, is this thing contagious? Yes, it's contagious, right? It is contagious. And there still aren't a lot of facts out there on how it's being transmitted necessarily. I mean, obviously, you know, somebody coughs on you or something like that, or apparently it can live on cardboard surfaces, stainless steel. I just bought a DeLorean, right? And my DeLorean's being shipped here, and apparently it can live on stainless steel for 3 days. So hopefully nobody has the Roni who's delivering my DeLorean, and as well as other surfaces, right? But I mean, generally the virus has a 72-hour shelf life, okay? And also, too, good news, guys, the weather is getting warmer, especially here in California. It's getting hotter and hotter. Summer is approaching, and viruses in general do not do well under heat, under humidity, and they tend to just evaporate, okay? But one thing that you need to do is you need to stay calm. You need to chill out, okay? I mean, right now is really a prime opportunity for you to prove how alpha you actually are, or how beta you are. Okay, now is the opportunity to show people like, hey, we've got this under control. We're gonna be okay. This is the one time where I actually trust our governments to do the right thing, right? To take care of this, to knock this out. And they've done it before, and guess what? They'll do it again. And the great thing, the positive here is, if this ever happens again, we will be prepared. Okay? You will not have to worry about this happening again. We will be prepared. And guess what? If and when it happens again, I doubt it will, but if, say, we go through another pandemic again, probably won't be in our lifetime, guys. This is some crazy shit we're seeing right now. I mean, this probably won't happen again for another 100 or 200 years. Okay, where another virus happens to break out, some other pandemic where, you know, this thing becomes like global. You're not going to see this again in our lifetime, but when it happens, right, it might happen to your grandchildren, or your great-grandchildren. When it happens, do not worry, because the government will be even more prepared, right? Society will be even more prepared, and they'll look back on this situation now and go, oh, they got through it, we'll get through this too. Okay? And as far as being alpha during chaos, I mean, again, this is the time where you see who are the contenders and who are the pretenders. Who out there has claimed that they're alpha and is panicking, is just like, oh my gosh, all right, let me load up on the toilet paper, right? Who out there is panicking? Because it's very easy to be alpha when the waters are calm, right? When there's no tidal wave, it's very easy to be alpha. But when the waters are rough, right? When the storm comes, when everybody is freaking out in the streets, that's when you'll be able to determine who is alpha and who is not. Okay? I have not panicked once during this whole Roni situation, right? It started to come on a couple of months ago. I saw the stock market just crashing, and guess what? I just bought more and more stock, right? I had a lot of guys well, not a whole lot, but a few guys were like, oh, you know that stock you bought the other day? It's worth half its value now. And it's like, dude, I don't care. I'm not selling these stocks. I'm just ass raping them for their dividend yield, right? Because I bought a what's called a REIT, a real estate investment trust, a stock that pays just a tremendously high dividend yield. It pays like right now it's paying over 20%, right? Because the stock is crashing. So it's paying a 20% dividend yield, which is basically 20% interest on your money. And I have no intention of selling these stocks, right? I don't buy stocks, by the way, for capital appreciation, for growth. I buy them for their dividend yield, to collect interest off of it, because I don't need that money, right? This is money that I would normally just leave in a bank or a money market account or a high yield money market account or a CD account. Instead, I buy these stocks, right? Because especially right now, they're at bargain basement prices, and I ass rape them for their dividend yield. And I will continue to do so as long as the company continues to pay out that juicy, fat dividend yield. But at no time was I, shifting my focus towards everybody freaking out buying toilet paper. Right, there was a great meme that I saw, by the way, where it said poor people are loading up on toilet paper, rich people are loading up on stocks. It's true. Okay, it's true. Instead of panicking, I use this as an opportunity to buy stock. How do I know to do that? I've been through this before. Been through this through the 2008 crash, the dot-com bubble of 2000, right? I've been through these chaotic times where everybody is panicking in the streets and freaking out, and then they miss the opportunity. And then sure enough, the US recovers, we recover, and then, a few years go by, the market just skyrockets, and then they're like kicking themselves, like, oh my gosh, I should have bought during that time. It's like, no, you were too busy panicking, right? And I know, because I've been there, right? I panicked during the dot-com bubble of 2000. And I sold everything. I mean, I sold Amazon at like $15 a share, and I was holding 1,000 shares. Oh, I would be like I would have millions in Amazon stock right now. So the lesson here is, guys, don't panic, okay? We're gonna get through this. I guarantee we will. Is it gonna happen right away? Probably not, right? It's going to take a few months to get back to normal. Although, let me tell you this, as of today, right now it's, as I shoot this, it is Wednesday, March 25th, okay? As of today, actually as of yesterday, Trump said he is going to start lifting the ban on the shelter in place. He's going to start easing back on it in certain locations where there's not a whole lot of cases, and businesses are struggling. It's getting to the point where the economy, we're going to lose the economy if we don't get people back to work, which we are. Okay, that's another thing. Don't panic, right? For you guys who are not working right now, don't panic. The government just passed a stimulus bill, so you're going to get money in your pocket. You are. I'm not for or against it. I really have no opinion on it, but they're going to be sending checks to everybody. Apparently it's people who have under $1 million net worth or something like that. That disqualifies me, obviously, because I have a business, I'm doing well, I have a house, I have cars, I have a great blessed life. So it's okay. I don't want the check anyway. I rather have it just go to people who need it. So I don't really need it. But just stay calm. Okay, stay calm. Your family is depending on you. Your friends are looking at you. Really, these are the times where all the people, I hate to say it, who are internally weak, mentally undisciplined, are looking for leaders. Okay, they're looking for somebody to tell them it's going to be okay. And you know what? The news ain't going to tell you that, right? The mainstream media is not going to tell you. The Matrix, right? The Matrix is not going to tell you that. Why? Because they want you to panic. They want you to freak out. They want you to be out there loading up on toilet paper. Because it gets them ratings. Okay, that's why they do that. You notice, less and less people are watching mainstream news these days, right? And they know that. So the only time that they get a spike in their viewership, the only time that they can take advantage of that spike is during a situation like now, like what we're going through now, a crisis. This is the only time that they know that they could get the ratings that they do. Other than that, if we're not going through a crisis, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to be watching CNN, MSNBC, The View. Nobody's going to be watching these people. Okay? Only during crisis situations. So understand that. Okay? Understand that. They are selling you a narrative that is not in line with reality. Okay? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Roni right now compared to reality. Okay, obviously, like I said, this thing is contagious, and right now, by the way, I believe they're testing out a number of vaccines that look very promising. Right, there is going to be a vaccine for this very, very soon. Okay, so make no mistake, it's not like people are going to continue dying in the streets and we're never going to come up with a cure. No, this thing is curable. Okay, there are vaccines out there that they're working on right now, and they're just gonna get it out there to the people who really need it, right? On top of that, there's already a combination of medications. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but Dr. Fauci has talked about it, President Trump has talked about it, and they've given it to a few patients who were in dire need of it, who were, basically on the verge of losing their lives due to the due to the Roni, and they gave them the medications, and guess what? They recovered. And not only did they recovered quickly. There was one guy, I saw it, the story on him just the other night, where literally they were reading him his last rites. They were like, the priest in there, everything. They're reading this guy's last rites, and the doc was like, hey, let's try one more thing. And they gave him the medications that Dr. Fauci has talked about, Trump has talked about, and guess what? The guy recovered. The next day, I think it was like within a day or two, he was going home with his wife, right? Do you see the mainstream reporting that? No, they're not going to report that, right? Much less are they going to report all the people who are actually recovering from the Roni, because there are tens of thousands of people out there that are recovering from it. Okay, most people overwhelmingly, they've said 80%, I believe it's higher than 90%, who get the virus are going to recover. Okay, if you happen to get it, your immune system is going to go to work, and just like anything else where you get sick, you are going to recover. Right? I mean, personally for me, one sickness I hate getting is like the stomach flu. I get it like every once in a blue moon. Like every 3 or 4 years I'll get the stomach flu. I hate it, right? I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything. It feels like I'm going to die. And then guess what happens within that week? My immune system goes to work, right? And it knocks that shit out. And it'll do the same with the Roni. Right? But again, listen to Dr. Fauci. Don't listen to these other, street doctors that you see on television, like telling you, oh yeah, people are, everyone's gonna get it. Over 50% of Americans are. No, don't listen to these guys. Listen to Dr. Fauci from CDC. You could also listen to, I don't know if you're a fan of him. I like him, Dr. Drew. Right? You could type in Dr. Drew coronavirus, see what he has to say, or even Dr. Oz, right? Who I don't care for. Dr. Oz coronavirus. He's had his thoughts on it as well, and he's been saying the same thing that I'm saying. It's like, hey, relax. Okay, you're gonna be fine. We will get through this. It's not as bad as the mainstream media is making it out to seem. I mean, every day they're like, oh my gosh, three more people got it. 5 more people died. Oh, and I'll tell you right now, I mean, more people, I know a lot of people compare it to the flu. I'm not even going to do that. Okay, obviously, way more people die from the flu, right? So I'm not going to compare it to that. What I will compare it to is, let's just say car accidents. I will do this right now. How many people die in car accidents every day?
According to ASIRT, nearly 1.25 million people die in road crashes each year, on average 3,287 deaths a day. An additional 20 to 50 million are injured or disabled.
3,287 people die in a car accident every single day. Can you believe that? 3,287 deaths every single day just from rolling in the car, guys. Just from driving your car. That is 1.25 million people every year. Okay? Are we losing this many people each day to coronavirus? No. Okay? Does this mean that we should stop making cars? Hey, be careful, man. Don't go in your car. No. Okay? No. Keep living your life. Keep doing what you need to do. Obviously, take precaution, right? You got to wear your seat belt. You got to keep your eyes on the road. I'm parked right now, right? You got to keep your eyes on the road. Wear your seat belts. Watch out for other drivers. Drive offensively and defensively. And you know what? Chances are you won't be one of these statistics. You won't be a statistic. Okay? Just like when it comes to the Roni, right? You take the precautions that Dr. Fauci has given you from the CDC, like, hey, wash your hands, try to stay away from shaking hands with people right now, right? Might be a habit of yours, but avoid shaking hands with people. Keep your 6-foot distance from each other. That's really important too, right? I've been taking my dogs out and I've been making sure, keep my 6-foot distance. So, I mean, I'm following the guidelines myself. However, I am not going to sit there and freak out, panic, worry, right? I mean, I'm closing in on my late 40s right now. I'm not 50 just yet, but I'm closing in my late 40s and I'm not worried, right? I have a healthy immune system. I'm strong. I'm fit. I work out. I eat healthy. I'm not worried. You know, even if I catch it, my immune system will fight it off. Okay? Do not panic. So that's all I really want to say for tonight's coaching video. I'm not really going to edit this, so, you know, forgive me if it's not as, like, you know, perfect or anything like that, or if I've screwed up throughout this, you know, a couple times throughout the coaching video. I'm just not going to bother to edit this. I'm just going to upload it as it is, just because so many of you guys have been hammering me to do a video on this topic, on the Roni. And I've kind of been avoiding it just because YouTube is really, really trying to scour and look for anybody who is not part of the matrix, who is talking about this, who is going to calm your fears, who is going to tell you, hey, it's going to be okay. Because you know what? It will. Okay? It will. We will be okay. And as of right now, like I said, President Trump wants to ease back on some of these shelter in places in locations where it's not, you know, it's not as risky as, like, say, New York City. All right, so if you're in New York, I don't think he's really going to ease the shelter in place there. But other places, I mean, even I'm in California, so he may not do it here either. But other places that are just less populated, less chance of people catching this, I think he's going to start easing back so people could get back to work and we can start moving forward again. Because we need to, guys. We need to. They said it themselves, like, you know, it's almost like the cure isn't worth the problem. And I definitely understand that as well, but clearly they're not going to make that move, or they're not making that move, and they wouldn't even say that unless they knew that there was light at the end of the tunnel, unless they knew that, hey, vaccines are going to be produced, we're going to be okay, people are recovering, and you know what? We can start getting a good number of folks back to work. Okay, and then slowly it will spread to the rest of the country, where more and more Americans, as we get this under control, will be able to get back to work. And like I said, the government just passed a huge, like, $1 trillion stimulus package that is going to put money in your pockets. So don't worry, you're going to be okay. Okay, we've been through worse. I mean, there could be worse. I was just watching this movie Armageddon with my girl last night. You ever see Armageddon with Bruce Willis, 1998? And it's just funny how the similarities are not that far off from what we're going through right now, where it's like a global freakout. But only in Armageddon, it wasn't a virus, it was an asteroid. Remember that? It was an asteroid that was going to just splatter onto the earth and just kill everybody, bacteria included, right? So at least we're not dealing with an asteroid. Remember that. It can always be worse, right? It can always be worse. But now is the time for you to practice as an alpha male, as a follower of my channel, to practice being still, right? To practice stillness, calmness, to be centered, non-reactive, as I teach you guys here on my channel. Now is the time to practice that stuff, right? Can't just talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. Just as I am, right? I have a channel, it's called Alpha Male Secrets. I can't just like go, yeah, this is how to be alpha, and then, oh my gosh, let me load up on the toilet paper. I haven't done that, right? It sucks that they're out of toilet paper, man. Stop loading up on that shit, by the way, guys. We're not gonna run out of toilet paper. And you know what? We're not gonna run out of food. You don't need to be going to the grocery store and loading up on beans, rice, hot dogs. You don't need to do that, right? You're making a fool of yourself. You're buying food that is perishable, that you don't need. You're wasting your money. You know what? I mean, even if the grocery store is shut down, 7-Eleven is always going to be open. You don't need to go to this extent, okay? And let me tell you too, last time I was at, the last few times actually, that I was at Target, Walmart, Ralph's, which is a grocery store here in Los Angeles, Vaughn's, another grocery store, I'm starting to see water stocked on the shelves. Okay, whereas a couple of weeks ago, all the water was gone. I'm starting to see plenty of stock of water back on the shelves, which is a great sign. And I'm slowly starting to see paper towels return. Okay, I haven't seen toilet paper yet, but I'm seeing they're starting to stock the paper towels again. And you know what? I was telling my girl the other day, I'm like, when you see water start to get stocked on the shelves again, and you start to see like hints of paper towels, maybe some toilet paper, you'll know that we're getting through this. You'll know that we've kind of plateaued, or we're beginning to plateau, and this thing is just going to flatline, and then it's just going to start going down, where you're going to see a sharp decrease in the number of reported people who get the virus, right? I probably even shouldn't say that word, get the Roni. All right, you're going to see less and less cases of it, and you know what? The mainstream media is just, they're just going to start boring people with all of their fear mongering and their panic, and you know, it's just going to end, guys. So let's see if there's anything else I want to cover here. Yeah, that's all I have to tell you. Okay, just relax, stay calm. Your family's depending on you. Your friends who are probably blue pill, who, you know, are still plugged into the matrix. They're likely freaking out themselves, and they're just looking for leaders, right? They're looking for leaders. I mean, I have some of those in my family too, where people just, they don't know any better, right? And they're turning to me, and they're like, "Man, how come you're so calm?" And I'm like, because I know we'll be okay. I know we'll be fine. There's no reason to stop living your life, right? There's no reason to think that the world is going to end or the sky is going to fall. Okay? You have to stop being such a pessimist. All right? You got to stop being such a pessimist, and you got to start being an optimist. Okay? Part of being an alpha, a big part of being an alpha, is embracing fear and uncertainty in times of panic and chaos. Remember that. Part of being an alpha is embracing fear and uncertainty in times of panic and chaos, right? And it saddens me that I've seen, you know, not a whole lot, but a good number of guys that I thought were alpha, that I thought was like, man, I thought this guy was like, he portrayed himself as so badass, and this guy is falling apart over something that we're going to get through. Because when you stay calm, everybody else will stay calm. Okay, but if they see you panicking, they're going to panic too. Unfortunately, we're just part of that. You know, most humans, we have that hive mentality, right? We have, we're very ingrained in groupthink, right? We constantly look to others for answers. And part of being alpha is detaching yourself from that and being your own individual unit and being strong. Not only physically, because a lot of guys, oh, this guy's jacked, he's alpha. That doesn't mean shit these days, right? You can't just be strong physically. You have to be strong mentally, spiritually, right? Because that's what's going to get you through times like this, where you won't be running into, you know, your local Safeway trying to stock up on toilet paper. Okay, and now is not a time to be mean to other people, because I've seen people just, you know, when these pandemics hit, people just lose the ability to act normal. They sink into scarcity. Okay, they let themselves sink into scarcity, and they start just kind of kicking each other to the ground, right? And now is not the time for that. Okay, we have to stick together as humans, and we have to help each other. Now is the time to bond, not tear each other down, right? So with that said, I'm going to wrap up here, guys. This is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. I hope you gained value out of tonight's coaching video, and if you have any other questions or concerns, go ahead and drop them below in my comment section, and if I don't answer them personally, one of my subscribers will. I have, you know, a great group of followers who subscribe to my channel, very intelligent guys, and I trust you guys to answer correctly. So if I can't get to the questions myself, but yeah, so drop your comments below, and as always, gotta smash that like button, right? Smash that like button, right? Before the sky falls, smash the like button. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, right? Maybe we'll do another one of these coaching videos next week about the corona. Shoot, I almost said it. About the Roni. Maybe we'll do another one next week, and that will be it, right? Because I believe right now we are reaching the plateau where, again, it's going to plateau, get a flat line, and then it's just going to go down. We're going to start seeing less and less cases of this going on out there, and people are just going to get bored of it, and they're just going to return to their normal lives, right? So maybe we'll do one more. I'll do one more for you next week, and then we're going to cut it. We're going to move on with our lives, right? Enough of this. We're fine. You're going to be fine, right? If any of your family members get it, by some odd chance, I mean, again, it's like somebody dying in a car accident. You saw the statistics yourself, right? And I don't see the mainstream news freaking out that over 3,000 people die in a car accident every single year. Imagine if they reported like, oh my gosh, you know, like every 5 minutes, like another 130 people just died in the car accident. Imagine if they did that, right? People wouldn't freak out because they'd be like, oh, you know, that's too bad. But I mean, that's unfortunately things like that happen. You know, it's part of life. Does it mean you should stop living your life? No. Does it mean you should stop driving cars? No. I'm a gearhead. You know that. I love cars, right? I have a 65 Corvette. I just bought a 1981 DeLorean with 10,000 original miles on it. The owner passed away, so I bought the car from a museum, and I've got my Range Rover, right? I've had this Range Rover for a while now, and I love it. A lot of you guys are like, oh, he must not be doing that well. He didn't buy the brand new Range Rover. You guys are morons. I mean, you ask any multimillionaire, or you look at any multimillionaire, they're not driving like the brand new $150,000 Mercedes-Benz or Range Rover or anything like that. Instead, I mean, they keep the cars that they like, or they buy the cars that they like. And I happen to really love this car. It's so comfortable. I've looked at the new Range Rovers, and I really don't like them. I just don't. I don't know what I'm going to get next, but it probably won't be the new Range Rover. Yeah, I don't know. But never say never. I could change my mind. But right now, I love this car. Love shooting in it. The analytics prove that you guys love me shooting in this car, so I'm going to keep shooting in it. Until next time, guys, don't worry. Don't panic. For you guys who want to kill time while you're doing the shelter in place, the best way to do that really is by continuing to self-educate yourself. So if you're not in my if you're not a member of my premium Alpha Male Secrets program, now is the best time to do it, right? Because you have nothing else to do, right? Instead of playing video games and eating bad junk food all day, self-educate, self-motivate. Now is the best time to be catching up on all your reading and self-improvement, right? So want to jump into my premium Alpha Male Secrets program. It's still only $1, especially right now with everything going on. We'll keep it at $1. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now for just $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. And you know what? You have nothing else better to do. So take advantage of it and come out of this a better man, right? Come out of this a stronger man. Come out of this more alpha and less beta. Okay, because that's what this little pandemic is going to prove that we're going through right now. It's going to prove it's going to show, let me say that, it's going to show who is going to come out of this more alpha versus who's going to come out of this more beta, more of a little bitch, right? It's not going to be you, because you follow my work, you apply my teachings into your own life, and it's just not going to be you. All right, so until next time, I will see you in my next coaching video. Take care, guys. Be safe. God bless. Vaya con Dios.